Even before the huge budget hole developed, the DHS Division of Developmental Disability Services was in dire straits. Just released figures show a record number of Oklahomans' most vulnerable citizens are unable to have their critical needs met, and many of them won't even get services for many years. At 25 years of age, Skylar Moore has greater care needs than a toddler. Dawn Ray Moore is Skylar's mother.
I always told everyone that Skylar will be with me as long as I'm here. As long as there's a me, Skylar will be with me. You know, if I can't imagine the day when I have to say that I can't take care of him at all.
Her husband's unexpected death 2 months ago has escalated her worries.
When my husband suddenly died, and it was just, like I said, suddenly, it became very real, you know, that even it was unexpected. What if I suddenly die? You know, Skylar's going to have to go into a nursing home.
Moore is not alone. Others attending this support meeting for parents of the intellectually and developmentally delayed fear for the future of their children.
We are now worrying about decisions that a typical parent doesn't have to worry about for 15, 20 years.
In 2010, Erin Taylor placed her son Henry's name on a waiting list with Oklahoma's Developmental Disability Services, or DDS. It's a program that provides services such as long-term care case management, home health aides, therapy, vocational training, and retrofitting homes for the disabled. 5 years later, the Taylors are still waiting. Moore put Skylar's name on the list 7 years ago.
And as his needs got greater and greater, I would call and say, okay, I don't have anyone to watch Skylar, and you know, I'm needing some help. He's getting really big and strong, and well, I'm sorry, but we've got so many people ahead of you.
DDS Director Joanne Goyne was on hand to give an update to parents of children on the wait list. The news was not good. As of December 8th, there were 7,231 names on the list, a record number, up by almost 250 from July of 2014. Services are provided on a first-come, first-served basis, so the wait to receive services can be 9 or 10 years. And with the current state budget crisis, the list is expected to keep growing and the wait time will increase. Emergency cases may be the only exceptions.
This last year we moved 90 people into services, into our waivers on an emergency basis. Now 2/3 of those people were children in state custody who had been removed from their parents' home and were in crisis.
Greg and Elizabeth Yankee have 3 children on the list, 3-year-old Catherine, 8-year-old Noah, and 9-year-old Christopher. Their life is not easy, but it's rich with love.
When you see your child attain a milestone, you rejoice in your heart more than anybody else.
The Yankees put the boys on the DDS list more than 7 years ago. With luck, they hope to end their wait in 2 to 3 years. The only aid they have received from DDS has been respite care.
We've gotten vouchers, but that's intermittent. Vouchers for respite care, for having babysitters. And the difficulty of that is finding a qualified person that you trust. But then we just recently got a notice that the voucher money dried up.
Families on the list have received notice there won't be any respite care money available until next July.
When parents say, I'm going to have to die before my kid gets services, unfortunately, that's not that far from the truth.
John Gadja is the executive director of TARC, an advocacy network for children and adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
And the legislature has to get realistic. We can't give money with one hand and take it away from the other hand and expect problems like 7,300 people on the waiting list to go away. They're not going to.
The Yankees hope Oklahoma's Sooner Care program stays solvent.
We've been able to access Sooner Care, and Sooner Care is a big blessing. That's how we're able to get therapy for the kids. But the only problem with Sooner Care is you have to stay under income.
They meet the low income requirement for Sooner Care because Greg is a public high school teacher in Oklahoma, where teacher pay is 4th lowest in the nation. And while some households caring for a disabled loved one qualify for other forms of state aid, others make too much and struggle to keep their aging children at home instead of relinquishing them to a nursing home.
They're estimating that in Oklahoma we have 11,613 individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities who are living with aged caregivers. That's a potential bubble of need that's going to burst as those aged caregivers pass on.